So for this video, I'm going to show you how to do the 2.9.1 basic switch and in-device configuration Dropbox. So in this assignment in eLearn, there is a series of directions. Download the two files below, open and log in a Packet Tracer. We're going to then show you how to log into the actual Packet Tracer file and save it as your assignment, which is very important because it just allows me to know that you're the one doing the work and that you didn't find it anywhere else on the internet. So let's get it started. You see here we have the two files, the 2.9 Packet Tracer Basic Switch and In-Device Configuration.pka file. This is the file we're going to use inside of Packet Tracer. Below that is the doc file, or the DOC file. Periodically inside of the Packet Tracer files, there will be questions that are kind of important for your understanding and knowledge. The Word document file is something that you can use to answer those questions. That way, when I am grading your homework, not only do I know you know how to do the basic configurations, but I can also see and test your understanding of the theories behind those applications. So I've already downloaded the Packet Tracer file, and I have that running in the background. So let me pull that up. And I want to show you this user profile. So this is how we're actually going to save the work as yourself so that we know that you did all this work. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my Netacad information. Please don't use my Netacad information. Use your own Netacad information. Now once I hit OK, it's going to save this activity and will reset it if the user's information changes, change the information for the reset activity. So it saves it as myself. Now, the cool thing about Packet Tracer, one of the things I am always the most excited about, and most students get excited about, is this completion. As you are doing this assignment, your completion rate will go up. And as it goes up, you know that you are getting the points you deserve. Now, when you submit this assignment, typically you're going to know what your score is on this assignment even before you submit it. And if you run into a problem, you can actually use your Check Results tab and an assessment list, and it will tell you the things that you are still lacking to figure out. Now, when you submit your homework, if I see that you didn't get all the points, I will use that Check Results, and I will see what you may have had an issue with. So I'm now going to maximize these directions. And we can see here what all we're going to be doing. And it says here, use a console connection to access each switch. Now, if you've been doing your reading, you understand that a basic switch, when it comes out of the box, you have to use a special cable called a console cable in order to access the switch. Now, if you looked in the configuration is locked, you can't see it. Let me see if I can add, nope, I can't add anything to this. If you open up a new Packet Tracer and you add a switch to the Packet Tracer, you can actually see the physical layout. And inside the physical layout, you see a console port. And there's also some in your reading as well that you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to my cable connections. I'm going to select the blue console cable. And if you notice, when I highlight over it, just below that, it says console. I'm going to select that. I'm going to select user PC 1. And I'm going to use an RS-232 serial port. Now, this is a legacy port that a lot of our new laptops don't have on them, so you have to use a dongle to make the appropriate connection. But if we're going to use the RS-232, and then on the switch, we're going to use the console port. Now, once we've made this connection, we can see that we have the blue wire connected. If we select the PC, under Desktop, and then Terminal, this is how we're actually going to access the switch through the console port. Now, old console ports are serial interfaces, and they use different kind of configurations. Now, I got to say, this has been simplified now in the 21st century. Back in the 20 years ago, it was complicated and hard and a whole bunch of stuff. Right now, all you need to know is hit the OK button. Yep, that's all you got to do. Hit the OK button. It's going to open up the terminal, and voila, you are now inside this beautiful switch. So if you notice, our cursor down here, I'm going to ask you to remember, what do we call this interface? What executive mode, or what mode are we in? Oh crap, I gave you executive mode. We're in executive mode, right? So now if we want to move into the configuration mode, we first type in enable, and then we type in config T, and we have moved from the executive mode to the privileged exec mode. And remember, we see the change in the prompt, and then we enable configuration mode. Now, typically the first thing that Netacad asks us to do is to change the host name. We type in our command host name, S1. I think that's what they're going to use for this. And now I have an S1 configuration change. And you know what? I did not use the right name, so let's go back in and change it again. It's actually going to be ASW-1. Now, before I hit enter, I want to show you this completion as it goes up. So hit enter. I have 1% of this lab done now because all I did was change the host name inside the switch. And as you continue through this configuration, your score will go up. Now, I would expect to see a 100% completion at the end of this. And again, remember to use the Check Results tab periodically to actually see how your results are going. So if I go back to my Check My Results, I can see host name has a check mark now showing that I have entered that command correctly. All right, hope that video helped. Oh, let's say once you're done with all this, let's talk about submitting it. Once you're finished, make sure you save. Make sure you hit File, Save. You can now save this as yourself. So I always just use my last name. You hit Save. And then when you want to submit this document, just go in and submit both documents. Now, I didn't go through over answering the doc file, but if there's any questions inside that doc file, you would want to submit both the packet tracer and the question file. All right, hope that helped.